I started my business in 2000, right in front of the steel mill. And then in 2005, we moved out here to the industrial park. I bought a building out there, but it was in 2012 as a small business owner, you know, we got to really watch our costs just like everybody else, but especially a new startup. But in 2012, when Black Hills Energy fired on the gas plant just north of us, our rates went up 41% overnight. And that kind of sent us scrambling because that was a huge bump for us. And the electrical cost is about 80% of our utilities. So that's the biggest share of it. So we went through a number of gyrations to try to reduce that. So I'm excited about this potential 2A, you know, that we can get a yes vote on it because the opportunities are huge. And I've been involved with many different things in the community, and including economic development. And that was a big stopper for many companies once they saw the rates. You can talk about how cheap the water is and how cheap the gas is, but when 80% of your utility bill is electrical, it's hard to talk around that. So I'm excited about this, and hopefully we can get everybody else on board.
Both of you guys, Andrew and Sam, have been active leaders in PEDCO. Could you talk to us for a few minutes about how the electric rates factor into the incentive packages that PEDCO puts together for new potential recruits? I guess what I'm wondering is it the elephant in the room in conversations with prospects?
Well, you know, I think it can be the elephant in the room. You know, as Sam said, some of it depends on the usage profile, but you know, if it's a manufacturing company, they're going to be using a lot of electricity, and it's significant. When we're looking at bringing new companies to Pueblo, you know, companies are looking for a number of things. They're looking for, you know, quality of life. They're looking for workforce. They're looking for low utility rates. They're looking for a place that has, you know, you can build a plant, the local building department's on board, the city and zoning are on board, and they're friendly towards business. A place where their kids can go to school and get a good education, and on and on. But I think however you shuffle that deck, electric utility rates and utility rates are always in the top 10. So yeah, we've seen companies where it's a problem. But the other thing we talk about is that we don't know how many times that we don't even get a prospect. And I think it goes to what Francis says, you know, from a state level, you know, they made, you know, usually a company hires a site selector and they're out looking at 50 or 100 locations, and the site selector, you know, in the initial phase, all they want to do is cross places off the list because they want to get it down to some manageable number of places to actually take a look at. And so, you know, if you score poorly in 3 or 4 of those top 10, you know, qualities, you don't even get a look. And so that's one of those things that we really don't know. You know, how many times does the electric rates, you know, earn Pueblo, you know, cross off the list, and they're not even considered. So yeah, it's a significant issue.
Sam and Andrew both. A listener asks, what would your company do with the substantial savings in its electric costs?
Substantial savings in electric costs would be wonderful because it would free up, you know, resources to use to invest. And, you know, investing for us is usually, you know, some new equipment, maybe a slightly different area that we haven't been involved in, which usually means hiring more people and growing. And so I think that's what we'd probably do at TR Toppers.
We would focus on growth. I mean, we're doing that now, but that would just allow us so much more capital to continue to grow. And it wouldn't be a burden on us to, hopefully, you know, we can partner with other companies to get them to come to Pueblo so we can create a bigger manufacturing base. And, you know, manufacturing is not dead. We're alive and well. And I think this whole COVID crisis is going to bring even more back to the United States. And we'd love to be on the front line to receive those new companies. Andrew talked a bit about the economic development. I was on the PEDCO Economic Development Council for 12 years plus. And for sure, electrical rates was a big discussion point. And I can tell you in those meetings, I was cringing when they'd bring that up because, yeah, we can tout about cheap gas and cheap water. But when it comes to electrical rates, you know, there's only so much you can say. So you got to tout the cost of living and the great people here that live in Pueblo, and they're really if we can get a company here, they're very impressed with the community. But it's the numbers people that make the decisions also. So, and that's where the electrical rates come in heavily.